Welcome to the Johnson County Library MakerSpace series, getting started with the risograph. In this tutorial, we'll explore the capabilities of the risograph and learn how to prepare a file for printing. We'll also discuss what materials you'll need to bring and walk through the printing process itself. Let's get started. The risograph, or Riso for short, is a specialized art printer that works like a screen printer. It creates prints one color at a time, layer by layer, using a stencil called a master. Unlike other copiers, this unique process uses rich spot color to create vibrant prints with little inconsistencies that make each project special. Like other printmaking techniques, the Riso works best when you work within its design limitations. It is particularly good at handling large areas of bright ink and creating eye-catching gradients. It also works best when you are doing a large number of prints, as opposed to unique one-offs. Most often the Riso is used for printing posters, zines, and other art prints. Misprints can also be used for collage making material. When designing projects for the Riso, any software that can export a simple PDF, JPEG, or PNG can be used. Printing from a computer, we recommend using Adobe Acrobat. The Riso is also equipped with a scanner bed, which works well for reprinting hand-drawn artwork. When producing your design, it's best to think in terms of color layers as opposed to one cohesive design. Because the Riso prints one color at a time, each color will layer, and any overlapping areas will produce a new color. If you aren't sure of where to start, the app Spectralite for Mac is an easy-to-use tool that will take an image and prepare it based on your Riso ink colors. One thing to keep in mind when printing on the Riso is that it's not designed to produce highly precise photo prints. While it can have a great effect on photos, fidelity is not what the Riso is intended for. Another thing to keep in mind is that the Riso creates a master for each layer of color, so it is not used for printing single copies of a graphic. The Riso also can't do a full bleed print. The largest printable area is 8.5 by 14 inches, and the largest acceptable paper size is 11 by 17 inches. When you are ready to produce your print on the Riso, be sure to bring in your design file or physical design, as well as the paper you want to print on. Coated paper, such as glossy photo paper, will not work with the Riso, and it can have difficulty with very thick or heavily textured paper. Be sure to bring some extra paper, as you might make mistakes when you are setting up your print. Now let's walk through the printing process. When printing from a computer, you'll want to take your design and split it up by color, exporting each color as a PDF. If printing a photo, we recommend using Spectralite, which allows you to choose your printing colors and split the image into those colors. If you are using Illustrator or Inkscape, you can place your different colored assets onto different artboards and export them separately. When you are ready to print, ask one of the MakerSpace staff to insert the color drum you would like to use. Next, load your paper into the paper feed, which is located on the left side of the machine. Make sure the paper is neatly stacked. Once your paper is loaded, check to make sure the light next to the interface button on the machine is blue. Open your file with Adobe Acrobat and click Print. Go to the printer options, and from here, you can adjust various settings such as print style and color density. After you have everything set up, hit print and the machine will make a new master and then print 2 proofs. If you're happy with the print, you can make more copies using the keypad. If you want to modify your results, you can adjust your settings and send a second print job. If your project needed only one color, you're all done. If you have multiple colors in your job, there are a few more steps to the process. Whereas printing one color on the Riso is fairly easy, printing multiple colors can be a bit of a trick. To print a second color, take your stack of first prints and set them back in the paper feed, the same orientation that came out of the printer in. Set up your second color print the same way you prepared the first. Be sure to have a maker change out the color drum and then send your print. Once you have printed your second color, look at the proof and double check its registration. If the print looks good, you can print your second layer. If your print is misregistered vertically, you can use the knob on the side of the paper feed to adjust it up or down. Remember, you're moving the paper up or down, not the second color. If your print is misregistered horizontally, you can use the left and right arrow buttons on the top panel to shift your second color left or right. If the second color is too dark or too light, You can also adjust the density of the color, which will lessen the amount of ink being pushed through the drum. If you want to do a third or fourth color, repeat this process. Note that each color pass will result in a few failures, so you should take that into account when you are printing. Once you have printed all of your colors, collect your prints from the tray and you're done. Here are a few things to keep in mind as you start using the Riso printer. First, color order matters when printing. Some inks are more opaque than others, while others tend to print lighter. If you have questions about what works best, look through our many examples or talk to a maker. Print styles can make a large difference as well. For line or text work, make sure to select the line setting, and for more varied art, use the photo setting. Small amounts of misregistration are part of the Riso's charm. While perfect printing is possible, you'll end up with a lot of wasted prints, so it's best to design with the Riso's style in mind. In general, it's better to do large runs on the Riso. The machine is very ink efficient, so it's better to print more than you think you need rather than to have to resend a master. The scanning bed is also an excellent place to do experiments, as the Riso excels at taking mundane images and giving them life via its one-color printing process. When you are ready to reserve your spot on the Riso, we recommend you allow at least 30 minutes per color layer. If this is your first time using the Riso, we recommend reserving a 2-hour block of time. That concludes our introduction to the risograph. We look forward to seeing your creations in the MakerSpace soon.